The question is that the motion be agreed to. The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Well, Mr Speaker, like many times that I have discovered over the last 8 years that certainly I've been a minister of this government, I expect something from the Labor Party that might be interesting, that might be actually to the point, that might lead a general debate in this House, and yet again I'm disappointed, like most of New Zealand actually are. I'll put our record as this government of 8 years against the record of the former Labor government of 9 years, head to head on a moral compass on what we're producing for and doing for and with New Zealanders any single day of the week, and I'm just absolutely relishing the opportunity to do it right now. Mr Speaker, this is a government, this is a country where we can see economic growth that we haven't seen in a very long time. We have the fourth fastest economic growth rate in the OECD. And that means people having genuine security in jobs. It means people like in my electorate of Upper Harbour, who are actually the electorate with the most home ownership with mortgages, their jobs matter. Yeah? Actually having a job, being able to pay off that mortgage, spending some time with the kids, that matters to them a lot. So how we look after this economy, how we actually play our part in good stewardship is absolutely vital to them, and they can see the direct results of that. 144,000 jobs created in just the last year alone. That is real New Zealanders being able to go into real work that gives them an income and means that they are able to provide for themselves. Mr Speaker, the list is long. Average annual wage growth that we're seeing up $12,000 since 2008. Actually, the money that we're able to put into weekly super for our superannuants that desperately need that universal benefit that I think is absolutely justified and that they should be getting. But actually what it really means when it gets down to it, in a government that now has public services at 30% of GDP as opposed to Labor's 35%, damn good at spending money, damn good at putting more public servants in. It's absolutely a fact, and as I say, I hope you get a call. I hope you get a call, Mr Cunliffe, so that you can try and argue that one, because it's absolutely true. So we've seen a public service that blew out. We saw money getting scattered around everything. What we saw, actually, and I see the minister here, what we saw was an increase of those that were sick on benefits. We saw an increase of those that were labelled as unable to work or not willing to or not wanting to. And what we've seen and what matters most, I reckon, when it comes to the kind of management that you're seeing under this government is that we're able to spend money where it's desperately needed and see genuine results for real people for it. So investing in those people early and over a longer period of time. Because actually it's all fine to have the government books in great shape like we do, and it's all good that new jobs are coming on, but unless we're actually investing and targeting in the right areas for the right people so that they have a level of resilience and independence of government and are not dependent, quite frankly, like Labor would like them to be. You love it when they're a bit dependent, love it when they need the government so badly and can't survive without them, because they kind of like that because it makes them feel worthwhile and that they can sort of patronisingly go out there and say, we know what is best for you and we will provide because you're unable to be providing for yourselves, as opposed to actually building that kind of independence and resilience and the numbers going forward, which you can see. It means that we can put things like and actually take responsibility for emergency housing that's never ever happened from a central government before. This is the government that has put in more than $350 million in the last 12 months alone just into emergency housing, because we're able to take responsibility in a social area that we see needs our assistance and needs us working alongside community housing organisations and helping. Well, actually, in all of those years that you were there, Mr Cunliffe, we never saw a penny going into emergency housing or any responsibility from central government and actually giving back to those that really are at the hard end and at the bottom end of this. We see the member can kind of talk about all sorts of sort of numbers that are out there and that sort of thing. We count operations. More operations under this government than ever before. We see results in NCEA and our children and young people achieve achieving more so that they can go on and lead independent, good lives that really make the biggest difference for them. I see the Minister of Disability Issues here, who just yesterday put out an amazing strategy that's really working alongside those with disabilities so that they can determine their outcomes and how they do, with the assistance of this government that will continue to work hard every single day on behalf of New Zealanders.